shots won't leave one dry, and the jukebox on loud. She just wanna party all night. We be two-stepping in the back of the dive. I've been down a jack all night, tending to my keys cause they know I can't drive. Going up north with a rose one, stars ain't hard to find. Bottle of the best and you by my side, that's my peace of mind. Yeah. Even on the cold day, she just wanna roll with me. From the bar to the stool all night, just you and I, two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping, and I don't give a hoot unless it's you stepping. Then these boots were made for dancing, baby, jukebox playing. You and me singing, phone on silent, let it keep ringing. And I'm standing up on this bar, got us feeling like stars. We ain't going too far till the lights come on, we'll be dancing till dawn. Two-stepping, and I don't give a hoot unless it's you stepping. Then these boots were made for dancing, baby, take my hand, I'll take yours. Drinks get low, then we'll get some more. Going up north with a rose one, stars ain't hard to find. Bottle of the best and you by my side, that's my peace of mind. Even on the cold day, she just wanna roll with me. From the bar to the stool all night, just you and I, two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping in a dive bar. I hope you find someone. I hope you find a love. Someone who don't need much. Wind me up. Lucky I got my love. Going up north with a rose one. Stars ain't hard to find. Bottle of the best and you by my side, that's my peace of mind. Yeah. Even on the cold day, she just wanna roll with me. From the bar to the stool all night, just you and I, two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping in a dive bar. Two-stepping in a dive bar.
Hello everyone, how are we? Welcome. Apologies for being ever so slightly late tonight. It's been one of those nights where Fridays sometimes get a little bit busy because obviously we've got the the kids go to swimming at 5:45, I think it is, and then they do like half an hour swimming session. Then they come home, get themselves sorted, they go to bed, and then me and Mrs. J forget that we haven't made tea. So it takes a bit of time for the kids to go to bed because they're all like properly like hyped off the fact they've been swimming, and then we have some food, and then we forget what time it is. So welcome to Finland. Of course, we're back in Finland. My microphone's a little bit too high, so apologies if that was a little bit crackly. How are we? Hope we're good. Hope we're all well. Who was here on Wednesday? Because let's face it, Wednesday was fine, and then very not fine. Like, it went not fine pretty quickly. So much so that I think the bubble might have burst, and I'm now a bit concerned because the transfer ban has ended, and we've now no longer got an excuse for potential underperforming. Shall we have a look and see what happens next? I think that's probably for the best. this is weird, isn't it? Like, look, we were like having a great time up here, second, and then somehow, we've gone on a bit of a decline, and that is not the form of a team that is doing well. That's definitely a team who does badly, isn't it? That's not good. It's quite frustrating, that, if I'm honest. So we've now got, what was that, 5 games left in the regular season. Then we split into the promotion and the relegation group. But I mean, we're currently 10 points behind Inter Turku, and I don't know if we're going to make that up. Matty Park's already suggesting we've saved and loaded up a new day. That. You know what? That could be our saving grace. We stopped what we were doing and we started again. Well, not sorry, that makes it sound like we've saved and reloaded. We haven't. We've stopped what was going on, and we went, right, enough of you now. Thank you very much. Now it's time to take stock and load the game up, because we know we know FM, like, you know, Sports Interactive would like to tell you there's not such a thing as an inbuilt luck modifier, but we know that's the situation, don't we? We know that if we turn the game off when we're winning, we stop winning, and we know if we turn the game off when we're losing, we might stop losing. So potentially we could be all right here. That's what we're hoping for. We are hoping for that, because the options for other jobs out there, and there's not much. Bear in mind, we're a 1.5-star club with a half-star reputation manager. Like, yeah, our options are limited, to say the least. How's the mic sounding, by the way? I'm trying to sort of work out my distance with this new arm. Microphone. Sorry, this new microphone arm, not my actual arm. I've not replaced myself with a bionic arm, which, to be fair, would be fucking cool if we'd have done that. But yeah, no, I'm trying to get my distance here. Mike sounds lovely. Speaking of people who sounds lovely, the United City FM always sounds lovely. Welcome in, my friend. How are you, Kev? It's a pleasure to see you, as always. Welcome. If you're not following Kev, you absolutely must do so. You must. He's one of life's winners, one of life's wonderful people, one of life's helpers. I genuinely can't say enough good things about the United City. So me and him have had some wonderful conversations about all manner of things, not just Football Manager, not just Minecraft, and we will get that Minecraft stream booked in the next couple of weeks, because I do need to say that the Something Different Sundays, they've not been as regular as I was hoping for, to be honest. I think I've missed about a month now, and this Sunday is going to be replaced with Saturday. So tomorrow is going to be something different. We're going to do we'll do some Skylines tomorrow, because we have to record the podcast tomorrow night, because we had a bit of shuffling around with regards to logistics. Normally, of course, we film the podcast on a Thursday, but I was gigging last night. I did an actual comedy gig. My word, what is this? Is this 2021? Or probably before, actually. Is this 2018? It's it was interesting. We did it, and it was good. I was funny. I have still got funny in me, which was great, because I was very concerned that I didn't have any funny, and I was trying to work out how it would go, especially considering the fact that it was a student gig as well. There was no dogs in the crowd. That was the thing, Franco. That's why I was funny. No dogs. They got my request before we started. I was like, right, no dogs, please. Thank you very much. And yeah, we just had a lovely time. It was really, really nice. And it was, you know what? It was the sort of nice where I start to go, oh, maybe I should get back into comedy. That kind of nice, where it lulls you into like a massively false sense of security, where you sort of go, I used to be good at this, and I am good at it. I am, I am good at comedy, and I am in the process of stepping back. In a sense, we've sort of touched upon the fact that the Football Manager stand-up show needs a reboot. It needs a bit of an update, and it needs to go back out on tour again. So we will be doing that. I've already made a couple of inquiries, so potentially there could be a way back into stand-up at some point over the next year or so, maybe. Don't tell the kids, they're not massively keen on the idea of me being out the house. So we'll try that. Did the youth get the references? Did you see that on my Instagram? I put a post, one of those stories out on Instagram. I was like, I've got a gig where I'm comparing in front of students, and all of my references are older than they are. And it's depressingly true. It was when one of them went on stage yesterday and was like, all right, so I was born in 2005, and I was just like, oh shit, like, is that a real thing? Doesn't sound like a real thing, does it? It sounds made up. Did they understand what Denise did and who Coolio was? Honestly, it took 45 minutes to explain that. They understood what Coolio was because they've heard of Gangster's Paradise in an unironic way. But Denise Van Outen, they had no idea. They had no idea. I'm not going to Instagram, it was more of a general inquiry. Well, you know what, Ruscio? Bless you for basically being aware of my brand. Which is exactly what it was. I was just like, hi kids. It's like when you do the maths back and you realise you could be their dad. That is worrying. God, Fagerstrom. That's the concerning thing. I'm like, oh shit, I've got like a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old, but I could literally have a 21-year-old. That's not what she said. Welcome, Llama. Here we go. Welcome. The legends are starting to make their way through the turnstiles. Here we go. If you're not following Llama, why the devil not, everyone? I had a lovely time in his stream this afternoon, watching him. Hates the fact that he's in the Premier League. It's a man after my own heart. It's a non-league manager in the world. How are you, Llama? Hope family Llama are well. Of course, Mr. United City as well, of course, was streaming this afternoon. I believe, am I right in saying, Kev, that you're in the you're doing very well with Leverkusen, I want to say. I was in a meeting this afternoon, so I couldn't jump in, sadly, but I'm sure it was Leverkusen. Fagerstrom again. Here we are. You're ruining my bit about the TJ about you if you're back gigging. I can't say you haven't been funny for a decade again. I mean, you can say that. You absolutely can. You're welcome to your opinion, and of course, it will be backed up with facts because there's many gigs where I have gone on stage and I've not been funny. But thankfully, some of those gigs no longer exist, and some of those gigs are run by promoter friends of mine who will just book me regardless. You are indeed Leverkusen Bundesliga champs, Pokal champs, Champions League finalists, and as of this afternoon, World Club Cup winners. I mean, the United City FM, he doesn't do things by halves, does he? That's just like, oh, basically what Kev said there is, yeah, mate, I've pretty much completed Football Manager. I'm glad they didn't bring out an FM25, really. Would have ruined the save completely. This winning is a brand new world. It's you wear the hat well though, Kev. You wear the hat well. Like, I couldn't wear that hat, partly because of the fact I've got an unfeasibly large head, and it would have to be a custom made hat, but also the fact that that's too much pressure for me. Like, it's too much pressure. There was an interesting question asked during Llama's stream this afternoon, which I want to get your advice on as well, chat, tonight, because I think it's a really, really good question, and it's maybe even a question that we might debate on the podcast. Llama, National League North win, playoff winners, National League winners, and championship winners. Similar CV. Mate, I would say that's a better CV, Llama, because he's done it with Leverkusen. Yeah, who did you do it with? Stokesley, Redcar Athletic. Are you the reigning undefeated Universal Champion? That is a good question as well. So here's the question for you all, okay? And it's one to debate back and forth today. I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong answer, but I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Llama's struggling a little bit in his save, and I don't know whether it's because he doesn't like the team he's at. I don't know whether it's the league he's in. But he asked a question to me, of course, and he says, when do you know it's time to leave a save? And it's a really, really good question, because I think this game doesn't let you leave a save easily, does it? We're all maybe a little bit, how do I word this? I think we all want to believe we can turn things around. We all trust our own abilities. We've played this game, most of us, for a long period of time, so we know that, form is temporary, class is permanent, that sort of thing. Yeah, we know all this. But at what point do you just say, you know what? It just ain't working. Like when do you accept? And is it a begrudging acceptance, or is it this has been on the cards for a while? I'd be interested to know your thoughts, chat, as to where you sit with this, because I think there's like two ways of looking at this. There's like the FM player way, and obviously myself, Llama, Kev, we also look at it from a streamer content creation way, which isn't necessarily mutually exclusive, but they do have slightly different sort of pressures, I suppose, to be honest. Franco's in there. If you're just playing and not creating content whenever you aren't enjoying it, you don't feel a connection to the team, or the boards screw you over. Nails, heads, hit. Franco straight in there, like 100% right, Franco. Llama used my Greece save as an example, and I think you've just done all those examples straight away. When the boards screw you over, that's when the game's done. Are you listening, Larissa? Are you listening? Sacking me with no real... Just because I didn't play two kids. I'm not over it. I'm genuinely still angry about the the Larissa save, as I should be. I think we put a lot of work into that save. For them to just dismiss it out of hand and be like, well, yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Bye now. Yeah, we couldn't really get a connection with Offie, I'm afraid. Llama says, to answer your question, this afternoon is when we gave up. Yeah, you weren't in a good space this afternoon, were you, Llama? It wasn't working well. I didn't see the end of the stream, so without ruining it, am I ruining it? Did you stay, or did you decide that enough was enough? Still not over what Leeds did to you in FM23. Oh, they kept shaving money, didn't they? They kept nicking cash off the top of me. I was like, yeah. Like, come on. Leeds United. Oh. I was trying to sort of like, everyone's slagging you off, Leeds. I'll rebrand you. It'll be great. We'll have a fantastic time. They were like, no, we're just going to be Leeds, thank you. Didn't help. Didn't help at all. Excuse me. You saw the high points. Results got worse after that. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'll be honest, chat, what I saw wasn't pleasant. So if it got worse, then It was like, it must have turned into like TJ levels of awfulness. Swedish FM Pagan in with the sub for 5 months there. Well, thank you very much, my friend. That's very, very kind. Genuinely, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Really appreciate the support. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Do I play the Chinese match engine? No, I don't know. A lot of people are asking questions about these match engines, and I'm basing this on only what I've heard, right? From what I understand, the match engine mods only affect your game. So the matches that you see and the matches that you manage. It doesn't affect any other matches that are played in the universe. So if these match engines are meant to, improve ball dynamics, improve the way that the game works, it's not doing that in the game. So you're either getting your match running easier or harder, depending on how you view what these mods do. But for me, I'm not a modder. I'm not a modder. I use a skin. I'll do a skin. It took me so long to care about face packs, and I've now taken them off. So I'm like, that doesn't really affect me. It's just not me. It's not really my vibe. There's definitely a lot of very good work gone into them to make them happen, and fair play to all those people who've sat and tried to get it working, and they've done an amazing job to produce something, but for me, it's just not my vibe. I also don't want to put something into the game that, knowing my luck, would just ruin a save. It would just destroy everything I've got. It would ruin my whole game. It would just, do you know what I mean? It'll delete the internet or something. So yeah, I'd rather not bother, personally. But I've seen a lot of people say that they're having fun with it. But for me, it's just not. It's not something that's on my radar, to be honest. And I think that feels as diplomatic as I can be, to be honest. Going back to the question about when do you leave a save, when do you leave a team, I think it's the save more than anything, isn't it, really? United City, as a streamer, I think you'd move on when every stream starts with, I know things are awful and I'm not having fun, but we're here anyway, so let's see what happens. I feel as though Kev's just quoting me back to me at this point. Ian says it's a catch-22. Stay, can you get a trophy, or do you feel you've taken them as far as you can? Oh, that's the question, isn't it? Because look, and this is the example I was trying to give to, and I even said to Llama, we're sort of in this little crossroadsy bit with HIFK at the minute, because we've had a transfer ban for 16 months. I may have mentioned it once or twice. And last year we finished third, and the top two, well, the top one goes up, the top second place goes into the playoffs. Because of how small the Finnish league season is, there is part of me thinking we can still get promoted. Not this season, maybe next season. Now that would be me being at the club for 4, maybe 5 years. Now, in a normal save, do you spend 5 years in the second division of Finnish football, not being paid as a manager, trying to get a club promoted who clearly aren't good enough to get promoted, and if they do get promoted, will probably get battered a lot when they go up? So am I just using this as a kind of bit of leverage to get me a job elsewhere later? I don't really know, because HIFK, as Dan says, they've reeled me in. They've reeled me in, but have I allowed myself to be reeled in, Dan? That's the question. because I've got to be honest and say, look, I am my own man. I make my own decisions, and I think that I've allowed myself to be drawn in. Do we move? I don't know. I've had a look at the options, and I'm not sure there's any options that are better than what we've got at the minute. That's the thing. Rugio, I think some streamers move too quickly. I get why, but the example, I think, is Indonesia. Yeah, that's always in my mind. And the Pentagon as well. No idea why we left Indonesia so quickly and moved to South America. I felt there was more story in Indonesia, but I'm not a streamer. No, you're 100% right. There was definitely more story in Indonesia. This is why when we saw the Sleman job came up in this save, we were like, we'll go back to Sleman, like, because we've not finished the story. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, it's remembering that as a streamer, and again, Llama mentioned this on his stream today, like, he wants to do a one club save on Twitch and then a Journeyman save on YouTube because he feels like that's how it works better. And I see the thinking behind it, because you want to sort of like be able to jump in and jump out, and I just think once the streamer or the creator or the player isn't feeling the vibe, I think you've just got to get out of it. Like, nothing's going to pull you back. Changing teams isn't going to be enough unless you change drastically. Maybe you love the universe you've created. Say like you're 10 seasons in, you know there's some really great players in that universe, and you're managing, say, in the Premier League, right? And you're like, oh god, this is just boring. Either I'm like not ready to win the league, or I'm winning the league too much. Then maybe resign and go and take charge in South America, for example, or take charge in a different nation, like go to Italy or Holland or something. And so you've got that universe still ticking on. That's interesting, but yeah, if it's an actual save and you're doing a challenge, for example, I think that's when it becomes difficult. Like, Llama's got a challenge to win, and correct me if I'm wrong with this one, Llama, is the challenge to win something significant with a team that hasn't won anything significant. And I've had that with British Steel, and I've had that with the Pentagon, and to an extent I've had that with Build a Nation. The idea that there is something hanging above your wall that says this is what you have to do to complete the challenge, and if you don't think you're going to do it, when do you back out? And I think the Pentagon was the thing we backed out on. We rushed into a Pentagon just purely due to circumstance. I knew the Jameson thing was lined up. I kind of thought that it was like a decent cover for what was going on. But then, of course, when the whole thing with FM25 being cancelled, it was just like, right, there is literally no need to do this at this point. We can just sack this off right now, because I just moved. I didn't have the time to do a Pentagon properly. As I said to you during the stream, when we missed out on the African Champions League, with Kaiser Chiefs, what I would have loved to have done and how I would have played it was go again the following season with the Kaiser Chiefs and try and win that Champions League, because that's how you do a Pentagon. You need to work at these teams. You can't just win it in one season and move on. And there was part of me thinking, am I losing audience attention span? Like, that's why I'm trying to move teams. A little bit, I suppose, with this as well. What do we do with HIFK? And like almost, Fagerstrom, he's done it again. Like almost sort of forgetting that people just follow the journey, and the people who tend to want the movement from teams might not necessarily be the people who are there all the time, you know, and they see a little bit of like, well, this is my save as well. And that's why we sort of get that whole like, look, no backseat and sort of thing, because we're like, look, we appreciate the fact you're bought into the save, but it's not your save as well. And that's a really tough tough balance to strike. We have got very, very lucky there, haven't we? They have battered us. 15 shots, 5 on target. We've had 3, 1 on target, and I presume that was the Fagerström goal, which was incredible. 2 minutes from time. What a result that was. That's perfect. And that moves us 7 points behind into Turku, but we've played the game more. Kev says, apologies to all the viewers out there, but for most of us streamers, we are doing it for fun and not to make it our job. At the minute, it's not fun anymore. It's not worth a rethink, because it only makes you less driven to actually stream. Yeah. Kev talking all the sense in the world. I've made that statement many times. This is not my job. I have no intention to be a full-time creator. None. Like, some people will be desperate to do it, and they get into it going, I want to make full-time content. I don't. I've got too much stuff going on in my life to be a full-time content creator. I don't want to go self-employed again. You know, I've got a mortgage, I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids. I don't need to be living month to month, week to week, wondering whether, you know, YouTube ad revenue is changing, worrying about the amount of subs I've got every month. I don't need that. I don't want that. I just want to be able to jump on stream, have a bit of fun, have a chat, have a nice time, and any money that we make with things like subs and with advertising, it just goes straight back into the pot, like, to make everything better. You know, you've seen, or at least you'll be aware, when we first started streaming, it was in my bed. It was in my and Mrs. J's bedroom with a ring light and a really crappy webcam. It was really dark. It was dreadful setup. There was really poor microphone. So everything that we've got now, you know, the PC setup, the nice lights, the really great camera, the beautiful microphone, like, all this is just everything that we've generated over the last few years has just gone straight back in to making it all better, so that we all have a much nicer time. No one's making this for you know, me paying my water bill or whatever, or my mortgage. This is like, right, stick it all back in, because it's just meant to be fun. Like, it's just meant to be fun. It's not meant to be a job. And because of that, I always say, whenever I hear people, and I'm sorry if it's a generalization, but it tends to be newer creators and newer comedians, always using the words grinding, or I'm grinding. Like, honestly, if you're grinding, you're doing it wrong, because it's not your job. You shouldn't be grinding. You should be having fun. Like, this is when it's the fun bit, because there's no pressure, there's no stress. Even if it's not fun, stop it and do something different. You know, it's not like if you stop, like, if I stop streaming tomorrow, my mortgage is still paid. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, I've got to look at it that way. If I stop streaming tomorrow, my mortgage is still paid. The kids still have food on the table. I'm not self-employed, so it's not a problem. Right? Therefore, what I'm doing is now down to how much fun can we have? You know, same as comedy. When comedy wasn't my main source of income, and I had been professional. I'd been full-time for years, but when it wasn't my main source of income, I had so much more fun doing comedy because I didn't feel the pressure of I have to smash every single gig in the same way that I don't feel as though I have to generate a certain amount of money per stream. Yeah? Does that make sense? I hope it does. And then looking at a save being like, oh, well, I don't want to make that save because if I do that save, then the amount of people that watch me is going to be less because they don't understand that particular league or they don't like that sort of style of save. I like the situation we've got where we go, fuck it, we're off to Indonesia because that might be fun. And then the people who want to come along, and the people who don't. Sorry, I think that makes sense. But yeah, I'm happy to hear anyone else's thoughts. Matty says you're the most entertaining when you're enjoying the game or the story the most. Do what you enjoy and we will follow. That's it, isn't it? That's 100% it. Like breaking this whole thing down into two different things. If I was just playing my save at home, would I continue playing if I wasn't enjoying it? No, I'd just stop. I'd just stop and I'd either start a new save or do a new game. Something completely different. Because we're online, we're streaming, making YouTubes, doing the podcast. The podcast has kept me playing Football Manager in moments when I've thought, you know what, I could sack this off quite easily. That's been a driver, but it still has to be a case of like, if I'm going to turn the computer on, this has got to be worth my time. Like, and it's got to be fun. And I'm not playing a save that I don't want to do. And I know I've lost. We've argued with people before and lost potential viewers before because I'm like, nope, not managing them, not doing it. Thank you very much. We're doing it my way. We're not doing it your way. We're not using these, overpowered tactics. We're not buying these wonder kids. We're not managing these specific teams or whatever. And people will then find their own audience. Like, they're not for me personally. They're people that maybe wouldn't be into me massively. They might enjoy a little bit of me, but not like the whole shebang. But as Kev says there, community over content. The community is what you build. You know what I mean? What is the legacy of all this? Yeah? What do we get out of this? Because ultimately, when I'm sat in front of the computer right now, I don't have however many people we've got in the stream right now. I've not even got the numbers on, like, because I don't need to know the numbers. Like, I'm just talking to you lot. I presume you're all there. I presume you're there, but like, if there's 10 people, fine, great, no problem. If there's 20 people, fine, great, no problem. If there's 100 people, fine, great, wonderful, no problem. You've got to be grateful for whoever's there, and whoever's there and joining in on the journey, make them feel part of the journey. Bring them along with you. Pass Pro, hey there, Mr. Jameson. Can you please start a new save with Manchester City and sign all the Wonder Kids from that Wonder Kids shortlist I found while playing a 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress from FM Arena? Otherwise, I'll unfollow. Yeah, exactly that. And you know what? There is plenty of people out there who will do that sort of save, and I love the fact that Pars Pro is probably, I hope, slightly doing that tongue in cheek. Yeah, there is a market for that, but if you're interested in something else and something different, there's a market for that as well. Because, yeah, wouldn't it be boring if we were all the same? Wouldn't it? An idea where to find saves that start 10 years in the future? Yeah, you sub to my channel, I'll give you the Greece save. He says after saying it's not all about the money. It's not. But yeah, no, you can get a Greece season 10 save in the Discord. So, but you know what? Use Amazon Prime. It's free. Use your Amazon Prime. Let's see if we can get some players on loan, because I don't want to spend any money. And the players are now starting to complain that we're not bringing anybody in. Oh, Ian. I mean, he's 6'2". He seems the tallest out of the lot. No wage contribution. That works for me. Daggermeyer says, hello, Tony in chat. I think you, streamers, have to do what makes you feel good. And if you have to start a new save after a couple of streams because you aren't enjoying the game, or because you aren't feeling okay with the game, this thing is the thing that is most probable to happen is to start as having a bad vibe in the stream. Yeah, that's it. It isn't about winning the league or not. It's about having a good time in a chat. 100%. Like, you're all smart people. You're all smart people. You can see through whether we're enjoying this or not. I've said time and time again that with YouTube, you can put a smiley face on and just get away with it, right? You can put a smiley face on and away you go. It's a 20-minute video. Nobody needs to know that you hate everything you're doing. Okay? You can't do that with a 3-hour, 4-hour live stream. You can't just have you can't wear the mask for that long. The mask will slip. You know, and that's the trouble. You just can't pretend you're enjoying something when you're clearly not. And I think the other thing as well, with from a content perspective that you've got to look at, is it's difficult when you're thinking about ways to engage the audience. Like, so again, how do I word this? So like, yeah, so if I was going to say, like, look, you know, like we had Musterman on the stream, right? We did the collab with Musterman, which is brilliant. We watched, he was sort of trying to show us how to do data-driven signings. For me, that's great, right? But I'm also aware I've got like a long-standing audience who might not want that. And as a creator as well, I've also got to think about the fact that, you know, what do my audience want with regards to attributes? So there's occasionally I've got to make decisions based on that. Which again is probably sort of counteracting what I said earlier about the fact that this is just me having fun. Senan Kurt looks alright. He's got the basis, hasn't he? Acceleration good, dribbling, crossing fine, first touch good, work rate abysmal. Tarek Kurt, Turkish striker. Kimo Hovey. Important first team player. Formerly at Duisburg. Ooh. Could be a bit of a pull, couldn't it? People skip long videos or click off anyway. Yeah. Apparently, but then again, there's also as well there is the thinking that people just work with it regardless and go, you know what, yeah, now we'll stick with it. Ultimately, I think people don't really know. No one's got an actual answer for anything. So to answer your question, Llama, from before, when do you leave the save? I think you just know. I think you just know. You know, would you still be playing this specific save if it was on your laptop on your own? And if the answer is no, then I think you certainly shouldn't be streaming it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the thing. I think you certainly shouldn't be streaming it. If you wouldn't do it on your laptop, then it's probably a good idea to jump off and find a new save. And given the fact you've already got the database loaded up, you know where you're going. I don't know yet, though. I'm in a tricky spot as well, by the way, now, because the players want us to invest in the squad, but I'm not. The scouts haven't really done anything for the last year, so I don't really know what we can bring in. But we've got a couple of potentially a couple of Turkish players maybe coming on loan. I haven't got any space in the wage budget as well, so I wouldn't play myself on a laptop. And then again, my save is a large database. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. God, the pedants in the chat, aren't they? I'll be honest. Since going to a desktop, I play a lot less FM. A lot less, because now I'm like, I'm not loading the desktop. I'm not loading the PC up to play Football Manager for a couple of hours. Whereas when I was on a laptop, I'd just open it up, bang a couple of games out, close it down again, and away we go. I'm not doing that in the house with the PC. I'm not setting everything up, because by the time I set everything up, I might as well just stream. Do you know what I mean? And at that point, I'm like, well, here I am again. Right, Erin Kea and Arda Ayan are both going to join on loan. Let's just see what they look like. Two Turkish lads. Let's see what they look like, shall we? Are they going to be any good? Do we think? I don't know. I hope they are. Kev, I play FM on stream and that's it. Been like that for a while now. Yeah, same. Yeah, since the pandemic, same. Arda Ayan, C+. Okay, ball winning midfielder. He could definitely step in for Madianga or for Mohammed. Determination 16, first touch 13, acceleration 12. Teamwork's good. Passing's pretty decent. Okay, director of football's done a reasonable pick there. And Erin Kea plays out wide, quick, good dribbling. Crossing's not brilliant. Work rate's not particularly high. Lots of potential though. Lots of potential. Okay. It's extra bodies in it at the end of the day. And Mahaja's out for 9 months. Oh no. Oh dear. This is a big blow. This is a massive blow. That could retire him. It could. He's 30. I've just got to clip that and put that into the Discord, because this is part of the story, isn't it? Right, well, let's rule some options out. We're not sending him to a specialist. okay? Because we haven't got enough money to do that. Andy's out of contract in November, so I'm not paying him for when he's not going to be here. So August, September, October, November. I think we just physio him and hope for the best. Find the player that tackled him. Yeah. I think we have to, don't we? Release him now and spend his wages elsewhere. We'll still have to pay his release, so that's the problem. We'll spin. Or do you mean unless we click him down as release for set for release? That's maybe not the worst idea, you know. And then try and bring him back in next season. I had some big striker injuries over the last 2 seasons. It sucks. It does. It does. I had a goalkeeper nightmare today. Says Rich. Goalkeeper 1, 2 and 3 all injured. Thankfully not long term, but still. I mean, that's... sounds awful. That's horrific. Rich. You don't want that at all. FM on side. Welcome in. Appreciate the raid, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Nice to see you. How was your stream? Hope it was a pleasant one. I mean, he is considering his options at the end of the season. Forza Honklazavara. Really? Okay. I mean, where's Honklazavara? Appreciate the follow as well on site, as well for Peth Ruslol. Very kind indeed. I mean, if he's considering his options, Larabelle, HIFK, yeah, they're the ones. They're the ones. Hope you're well. Honskavara managed for Swedish beasts Djurgården. Ah, right, okay. I see. We're managing Sweden. Love that. I do love a Scandi save. I am tempted to... This is a big decision. And it's going to be... no worries on side. No worries. No, you go and get some rest, my friend. But no, thank you very much for the raid. Very, very kind indeed. Welcome in, raiders. I should say we're doing a journeyman save over here where we started unemployed. No badges, no experience. We are in the 2nd division of Finland, managing a team called HIFK, who are born out of the Swedish part of Helsinki. So they are, of course, connected to IFK. In real life, they've been declared bankrupt and are in the 5th division, I think, now of Finland. And we're using an updated database. So we're in the 2nd division, but we have been given a 16-month transfer ban, which we've just come out of now. We overachieved last year. We finished 3rd. We are currently 4th this year. Expected to finish 8th. So again, we're overachieving again. We haven't bought any players for, well, clearly 16 months now. We've now brought a couple of players in on loan. One of my best players in Malaysia is a Komazoran international now. And he's out for 9 months. He's considering his options at the end of his contract, which is in November. So that's in 4 months' time. We do pay him, quote unquote, a lot of money. 500 quid a week. Rich in with the sub on tier prime. Thank you very much, Rich. Very, very kind indeed. Genuinely appreciate your support, my friend. 500 quid a week. He is great, but he's not as good as last season, is he? overall, there is a drop-off. Last year was very, very good, 7.01. This year, 6.68. So, there is a drop-off. We've got a left-back to replace him, if needs be, which is Laxonen, who I like, who I think is, to be honest, is doing pretty much the same, 6.67. He can also play everywhere, including as a makeshift goalkeeper. So it's not like we're lost without a left back. We also have Vigo Bloomer, if needs be. Again, not as good. Good potential, but that 500 quid a week now could become handy. It's not going to save us. Well, actually, no, it would. It would pull us. It would give us a bit of wages to consider. It's a big decision, isn't it? Ooh. What do you reckon? Help me out, chat. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts here? Do we cut him and save the money? How much to release him? Well, it's not about releasing him per se. My thinking was going to be that we hit the set for release. So, because his contract's up. So if we hit set for release, then it means that all of his wages then come back into the pot. That's how I understand it anyway. And can we then use that wage? Where is he in the dynamics? Hierarchy. He is in the highly influential players. Rahimi's unhappy. Where does he want to go? Is he wanting to leave? Felt the low level of general training must have contributed to the team's poor form. There's a lack of depth at centre back. Unhappy with strength training. I mean, yeah. You know what? Rahimi's not done well this year. So he needs to book his ideas up as well. I don't know. Set for release, possibly. Tough call. Is he open to renew the contract? If he isn't, maybe easy to release him. I mean, the thing is, though, like, now is not the time to discuss a contract, is it? Because it's almost like rewarding him for being injured. So we don't want to be like, oh, hey, so, you know, you see how you're injured now? Do you want a new contract? Because, of course, everyone's going to sign a new contract when they're injured. Yeah? No one's going to sit and go, no, Gaffer, I shouldn't really do that. I'm not fit. He'll be straight on going, yeah, sign me up, you know. So yeah, it is a tough one, but what we do, I don't know. Unless you can get him for cheaper if he's injured. I'm wondering whether there's a, and again, it probably isn't, but you know, would releasing him and then re-signing him actually work? Like, would he come back to us? I don't know if he would. I think he'd just leave and hang out in the ether, and then we'd never see him again. And oh, there we go, Fagerström. Oh. Nearly. Oh, Rahimi, we've criticised him. And he's managed to get himself a goal. He was listening. Fair play to Fagerstrom, by the way, for jumping on this. I thought he'd scored first of all. But this, however, right now, this talking point that we've got, would he fail a medical for a new contract? I don't think they'd. Would they do a medical for a contract renewal? He would probably fail a medical if we were trying to re-sign him. But here's where I think Football Manager really gets you and grabs you, because this is the first player we're attached to. Yeah, I saw the message in the chat when we saw that injury. People cared that Mahaja was injured. I doubt he'd have come back if you released him. Probably not. Yeah, you're right, Dagama. In the Turku, 3-0 up against Honka, 3-1 now. The game doesn't know that though. Maybe he wants to shaft you again. Maybe, yeah, maybe he's not even injured. Maybe this is just a fake injury, and he's just trying to get out of playing for us. He's doing a Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lower's just scored. That's equalised there, so that's going to keep us fourth. Hilton and Rahimi just battled out of it. Hutton and down the wing. That was TJ making a topical football reference. I know, Kev. I felt uneasy as well. Probably should have talked about it already, but seeing the Sunderland kit, would love to grab one. It looks class, doesn't it? It's yeah, I mentioned it in Lama's stream earlier on actually, about the fact that they've got the ship badge on, and they're talking about climate change, so the sea level is rising on the badge. It looks cool. It looks really cool, and naturally, it's been the response has been exactly what you'd expect from football fans. Football fans, man. Just why are they like? Why are they the way they are? That Mexico shirt is class as well. The Ajax one's mint as well. The anniversary Ajax one's really, really cool. Change, see if we can get anything from it. Oh, he looks alright, doesn't he? Huttonen. Oh, Alan Huttonen. What a goal. It's a shame it's for them, but it's a great goal. We're not brave enough here. And then he just runs with 4 players chasing him. Right, maybe we need to go and look at buying him. Still 10 behind into Turku. I think it's acceptable to have a soft spot for Sunderland, Dagomar. Definitely acceptable. Myself and Rich would say that's perfectly fine, but we'd also, say don't let Sunderland ruin your life. Right, Aaron with a corner. Cleared away. Son and back to the goalkeeper. No one's getting anywhere near it. Good challenge by Kabashi. This feels like a 3-1er. There we go. Has there been a social media backlash to the badge? It's just been the usual nonsense, Rich. People shouting that it's woke, people trying to claim that climate change isn't real. A couple of fair comments about the fact that that football clubs contribute to climate change by flying to matches and multiple kit releases every year. They're part of the fast fashion is it epidemic or pandemic? I suppose maybe endemic, maybe. Things like Sky and TV move games, so you can't necessarily go to the match on public transport, so you've got to drive there. So some of the questions are really real. Some of the questions are fine, but some of them are just like, why does the club have to get involved in this? Blah, 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 blah. It's more woke nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Leave politics out of football, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's stop virtue signaling. It's all just like, it's just a bit much, isn't it? Like, you can see, I hate to say it, but you can see why clubs don't bother. And they just keep their heads down, and they don't want to like sort of get drawn into talking about social issues. Clubs should design one kit and stick with it. Yeah, agreed, Alexander. There's no need for clubs to have 3 kits every season, and then like pre-match shirts and I got Sunderland have even had an LGBTQ plus pre-match shirt, which is class and it looks mint, by the way, but they've whacked a 50 quid price tag on it, and I think they've worn it twice, and you're like, come on, that's like it's just, that should have been our thing from the start of the season. Like, make it that, and then that'll be cool. But yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. Oh, we can get a striker. We can get a striker in. That's when we get Madison as well, actually. Emergency backup, maybe not. Made loads, not sold. Where do they go? Yeah, and that's the question. Where do they go? Like landfill, probably. So it is adding to the climate change problem. So in that sense, and if that was the point they were trying to make, which not all fans are, but if that is the point they're trying to make, that's a reasonable point. 3 kits is fine, home, European and away. No, it shouldn't. It should not be as it should be. It should be home and away kit, and that should be it. You don't need a European kit. No team needs a European kit. That's just a money spinner as well. They just need a home and away, and that's it. I'm sorry, I think I'm a bit old-fashioned, but yeah, they certainly don't need a European kit, which is going to be the same roughly as the home kit. And I say that as a person who's bought all 3 Sunderland kits this year. Like, do you know what I mean? Extra festival kits, one-offs, cash grabs. Yeah. Can't really disagree, can you? That's the problem. Maybe same standard home and away, but the third kit can do what they like. But I mean, what unexpected colour clashes are there these days now? Like everyone's pretty much aware of what the colour kits are. You know, like, I don't know. I don't feel as though they need to have 3 kits. My view only. Like, you know, teams for years were fine with 2 kits. I don't know. I think for the amount of time that they wear it, you don't need a third. Do you know what I mean? Like, third kit is justified if you have a white home kit, red away, and then you play someone in red and white. Well, no, because then that team would just wear their away kit. Yeah, that's how it used to be. Like you know, that team would wear their away kit. The problem is when you've got, you know, teams like Man City and Chelsea, or Man City and Everton, both wearing blue kits because it's on Sky, because it's been sold around the world. The ones that are unexpected, not being sarcastic, you get unintended consequences sometimes, only for emergency use, and don't aggressively market it, make it niche. Yeah, well, I get where you're coming from, and it's potentially more along the lines of, right, okay, what if you play a lower league club, for example, and there's a kit clash? But my view is make the other team change. Both teams change kits. There's ways around it because there used to be ways around it. I just think that people are now, everyone is now in the situation where like all clubs have 3 kits, and I don't think they need it. Second kit should invert the first team colours. Maybe just do what they do. I'm aware this is too much of a simplistic answer, but maybe do what they do with American sports. So everyone's got a white kit, and everyone's got a contrast, like a colour kit. So there's never going to be a colour clash. Yeah. Because my issue is when you've got teams like for example, like Celtic, for example, yeah, who have a green and white home kit, and then they have a green away kit, and they have a white third kit, and it's like, well, hang on, isn't that just the same kit? Sunderland would be black and white stripes. No, inverted Sunderland kit would be white and red stripes rather than red and white, I think. That's how I'm choosing to understand it. Everyone could just wear bibs. Yeah, they could. In fact, that would solve it all, actually. Everyone has a white shirt, and then you just put a bib on. It should be a trading option. If you buy a kit from the club shop, you can return that for a discount. I think the shirts should just be for more than one season. American sports have now started doing City Connect kits, so they're making third kits and more money from it. Yeah, because again they've realised, and maybe I'm wrong, but I always feel like things like NFL kits, they don't change every year. So it's a big thing when they change the kit. I could be wrong. Team shirts are different from the ones we get in the shops. Yeah, and they're doing that now as well, aren't they, over here? So you've got kits that are like, what was it? I looked at the Dortmund one, the long sleeve Dortmund shirt that just come out. 140 quid for the replica, for what they sell, or what the players would wear. Yes, Musterman is not a replica. You would pay 140 quid for a Musterman shirt, if you could. How are you, my friend? Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you're good. It's a pleasure to see you all. Welcome to Finland. Welcome to the second division of Finland. Welcome to HIFK. The transfer ban has been lifted. By the way, those who know, we've been in a 16-month transfer ban. We can now sign players, and we are doing so just willy-nilly, I think is the way to do it. How was your stream, Musterman? You wonderful, wonderful human being yourself. 20 quid will be deducted from the transfer budget. I mean, oof. £20 player? Madness. Want 3 shirts for 140 quid. Oh, yeah, honestly, that shirt is a ridiculous price. Ridiculous. We're talking about football shirts, Musterman, and the cost, and because of Sunderland with their badge on this week's kit, where they're raising the issue of climate change by going back to the old crest, which is the ship on the River Wear, and the tide is rising on the badge. And of course, football fans have reacted to that in the most articulate way that you would expect, and they see no problem with this at all. A lovely stream, very few games, lots of data, a lot of me being bullied by the chat. We wouldn't have it any other way, Musterman, would we? What we've got, though, we've got a bit of a weird situation going on. We've been playing brilliantly, and then shit. Really shit. So we are probably not going to finish in the top 2. We might, but it's going to be a bit of a stretch. Third is a possibility. Again, 7 points behind third. It looks like fourth is where we are. And I don't know whether or not... I don't know what we do next season. We're trying to work out whether or not we stay at HIFK or whether we look to move. I don't know. This feels like the sort of save where I feel like we need to stay and double down and really make a mess of things. But I feel like the chat might have other ideas. Makes sense that there's been absolutely zero pushback from football fans. Yeah, 100%. Like, football fans are known for being politically astute. Love the idea of raising awareness for campaigns. So, yeah, it's been great to see. Really great to see. Obviously, if anyone's in the chat who's struggles with the concept of irony and sarcasm, you are in the wrong place. You are in the wrong place. Stay and win the league with the adversity of the transfer ban. That's the spirit, Ian. That's the spirit. Now the transfer ban's gone, we can totally go reckless and bring in loads of data-driven free transfers. did think it was fantastic where we had Musterman co-streaming, going through how we look at players and who we can go for, and then 2 weeks later, oh yeah, by the way, no more players for you. Like, oh, thanks for that. Oh, look at that silky one-touch football. Should say we brought in Kimo Hovey, who's a big Finnish striker up front. In making his debut, Arda Ayan has come in on loan from Turkey, as has Erin Kaya. I think we maybe don't counter press. I think we maybe stand back. Oh, let's change that off actually. All those free agents are waiting to go to the 3rd division of Finland. Oh, we're in the 2nd. Unless, of course, we're getting relegated. Link on the Sunderland statement. Yeah, if you ping it to Dan or to Rugio Rich, they'll post it up in the chat for you. My little old dog is incredibly lovely, but occasionally when you let her out at night and call her back in, she just stands there staring at you before strolling off in the other direction. It feels like something demonic has possessed her. I mean, Kev, that does sound a little bit like that, to be honest. Also, as well, trying to talk to me sometimes feels a bit like, I'm just staring blankly in the distance, going like, oh, what's everyone after? What's everyone trying to say? Aaron with the corner in. Oh, we've got to hit the target from that, haven't we? I know we were expecting to finish 8th, but I feel like 4th is bad because of the fact we were 3rd last year. I feel like it's a step down, and I know with context it's not bad because this is the same team from last year. So to be able to still be up and about in that level is actually, it tells us that we're not in a bad spot. Oh, must have I completely forgot. There's one thing that you do need to know, though, which is potentially going to change how you feel about HIFK and the save going forward. And it's not that. It's not that goal. It's sort of FM con related. Mahej is out for 5 to 9 months. And his contract's up in November. And we're in August. What do we do? Do we release him? Do we say thank you for your service? We cry. We've done a cry. We've done a cry. We're now paying him 500 quid a week to not play. So yeah, it's interesting. What's that? Who's that to? Oh, the top keeper's come for it. 2-0 down. Oh dear. I mean, we've been outplayed here, haven't we? You're in the corner crying. I think we're all in the corner crying, Ian, to be honest. It's the news we didn't want, isn't it? Like, nobody wants to see Mahej get injured. He's clearly one of our best players. Injured in training as well, so one of our own lads did him. Laxonen. I thought he was going to play that sneaky pass there. Aaron, Madianga, Bloomer, Aaron, Bloomer. Oh, it's Aaron. Oh, and it's harder. The two Turks combine. It's Arda's first goal in Finnish football. Is he Finnish? No, he's not. He's from Turkey. I don't know. Come on, lads. Can we get another? Rahimi's not having a good game again. Is it worth mentioning the fact that Rahimi's not having a good game? Yes. Yes, it is. Changed it up. What can we do? Let's bring Fagerström off for Lepesto. I think we're going to lose this one again. What we've done is whenever we concede 2 goals, we score 1 goal later on, and it's never quite enough. There's not enough time to go and get that second equaliser. So there, we've lost again. The amount of games we've lost 2-1 is, well, 3-2. It's just, yeah, it's worrying. Yeah, not great, that is it. Club Vision. The board are still happy though. We are still a B. Job still secure. Supporters are still happy. They want more direct football. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I'm not trying to play. I'm not trying to pass the ball. You know. Do we dial it up again? And just go, right, you know what? Let's just lump it as far as we can. It's concerning now. And I am going to just have a quick nosy. No, there's nothing. The Honka job might come up, but it depends what happens, because if they finish bottom, are they going to get relegated? Yeah. And there is still this sort of like overcoming adversity angle that we've got with this club. Capone's available at the end of the season. Doesn't want to join us. Right, so let me go to the bathroom 2 seconds. Yeah, no, as Rich says there, yeah, the rising tide on the badge, it looks cool. It looks really, really cool. Okay, so we're facing into Turku now, who are top of the league. We've dropped to 6th. We're in the relegation group now. Oh dear. We've really fallen off. Oh no. What do we do? What do we do? Do we ship everyone out in the summer? Oh, sorry, in the summer. In November. And go again? Possibly. Is there a particular attribute your team has an advantage in over the rest of the league? Height, pace, passing? Or something else that we can base our tactical approach upon? I don't think so. Where is it? It's that one, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah. We're tall. We're very tall. That's the main thing that we like. And we're aggressive. Tall, aggressive. Our goalkeeper's not very good. Our defence isn't very good. Midfield's not good. Attackers aren't very good. Yeah, it's mainly just aggression and height, to be honest. Which I guess kind of explains the situation we're in. Looking at our physical attributes, we're not a physical side. We're not particularly pacey. Stamina's very, very low. Fitness is low. Balance is low. Strength is low. I think given what we've got, we are overachieving. Massively overachieving, because this is the season preview is we're expected near the bottom. You know what I mean? Press and play for set pieces. Yeah. So the interesting thing is obviously by pressing that, we're forcing opposition into making mistakes, but we're also not fit enough to get ourselves back out of those mistakes ourselves. So it's trying to sort of work out what the balance is, really. Honka doesn't belong in this league and is making it gloriously weird odds in the league. Well, Honka are currently bottom of the league by a long way. So, actually I say a long way, they're not a long way now, they're only 4 points clear of safety. Do the press and burst, have a second tactic where you do rest defence. I mean, that sounds a little bit like we're thinking things through. Do you know what I mean? And we've now potentially got a takeover on the horizon. That could potentially change things up as well. I mean, it won't, because nothing will happen. Yeah, I think what we can do though in the off season, once we finish the playoff group or the relegation group, whichever one we end up in, once we've done that and we start recruiting, because this is a question that Musterman asked when we were first looking at our recruitment. We were looking at, right, well, what is the tactic? Now, are we stuck to the tactic? Well, no, we're going to have to. We will play a tactic that is suitable for the players we've got, because we're going to get some newer players in the transfer window, we hope. So that's what we have to start thinking about, right? Who's going to stay? Who's going to move on? What can we what are we lacking? Are we lacking something on the right-hand side? Possibly still. Hiltonen does well up there, and this is where we might get Musterman to go back through the numbers. Do we sacrifice Rahimi? He's not been very good this year. Do we look at our right back, Hillascorpi? Decent, but causes a lot of issues. We concede a lot of goals down this right-hand side. Are we set properly up front? Have we got the right roles, the right players? Maybe not. Do we move Fagerström wide and then put Hambo up front? Actually, you know what? We could try that. Who's still going to be here next year as well? That's the question. Traore is still here, so he could be an option on the bench. We'll certainly lose a lot of players. So there'll be players in there that aren't in the side now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think my gut instinct is that we still just stay. We just stay. Because I can't see anywhere else taking us. I know our compensation package is 0. The wages we're earning at HIFK is 0. We're not getting paid. But I just don't think there are any other options. So we are HIFK till I cry. And if you come back in about 5 seasons when we're still here and this Journeyman has turned into a Finnish Build a Nation save with HIFK, and we finally got ourselves into the first division of Finnish football, then we can all just turn around and go, yeah, we knew this was the situation from the start. He called it a Journeyman, but it was never going to be a Journeyman. He was never going to leave. Oh, Hammerliner makes it 1-0. Let's go more direct again, shall we? There's one shot, none on target, 39% of the ball. What have we done? We've not done anything. Traore's not playing great. Rahimi's not playing great. But you know what? I'm tempted to try this out. Let's put Fagerström out wide. Let's put Hambo on as well. Have him as a wide playmaker. That's a wide target forward, isn't he? I feel like in order for that to work better, we need both target forwards on the left. If you're not getting the ball, follow Bobby Saxton's advice and Premier Passion. What was that again? Hambo, 6'4" poacher. Right, okay. I mean, look at this. We've not had anything, have we? It's all blue. It doesn't feel like anything we can do at this point either, does it? It feels like my options are limited. Did you focus play on the right to get the ball to the far post? I don't think I did, no. Maybe I should do that, shouldn't I? Yeah, good idea. The weird thing is that accepting a 1-0 defeat here is actually fine. He says that as we're about to concede a second. Oh, nearly. God, we're only 8 points clear of the relegation zone. This is concerning. Very concerning. Seven defeats this season now. Madianga out for a couple of days. Yeah, I'm not sure what we change at this point. My initial thought is everything. I mean, this is shocking, really. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games to go. Batista JM in with a follow. Appreciate that. Very kind. Thank you. Let's hit that more direct, shall we? Because that was decent enough. Madianga can come out for Arda. Let's take Rahimi out for Kea. Eloranta can go back in there. Madianga can come out for I've got a striker on the bench. I'm going to put Mido on. I mean, Mido's going to retire in the end of the season anyway, so that's not a major concern. Nyberg's injured in training. Excellent. Players just kicking each other now, apparently. Job still secure. C for the board. B- for the fans. As long as the fans are happy, that's the most important thing, right? We don't know what's going to happen with this potential board takeover either. Nothing, I'd imagine. I don't know whether to put like some sort of morale boosting friendly in at some point as well, and like, you know, take this back to realms of video game territory. Football player Orhan Nakiri. What does that mean? Do you rest your players after matches? Not really. I'm not into gamifying things that much. Like there's I mean, is that part of the problem? Possibly. I think it's down to the fact that the players aren't very good, to be honest. Look at a player who's very good. I mean, to be honest, it's we play with attribute masking on, so you won't actually see him. And also we have a channel points for players lookups as well. So for one click, it's worth it. Yeah, probably actually. But then would I get myself into the situation? But then am I going to get myself into the kind of like, oh well, if I'm going to do that, then I might as well do, double rolls. I know that's me being extreme. Just need to do shouting at players, to be honest. Do better. As I say, I think it's more about the fact that we're not overperforming. Now we're just sort of performing as expected, and sadly the expectation we've got is it's not very great. Then resting is gaming. If the players are tired, they'll get rested. Yeah, but they wouldn't take 2 or 3 days off though. Like in real life, you wouldn't give all players 2 days rest every single time, even because you wouldn't then be training. I think there's a fine line with it. You can do it like every now and again, but not every single day is right. You've played a match, rest everyone for 2 days. Obviously I'm using the extreme example here. There's probably more value in it in this at this level, so you're probably making a fair point. Fagerström down the line, Madianga. Fagerström, Eren. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been beautiful, but Hovey straight at the goalkeeper, sadly. Eren floats in. The thing as well is that the players are just as likely to sort themselves out as they are if we get interfering anyway. I think there's no rhyme or reason to this game, I don't think. I'm welcome to be proven wrong here. Right, decent first half so far. Let's change Hilscopy to a fullback on automatic actually. Rather than a wing back on. Is there a streamer tournament planned soon? No, not that I'm aware of, Dero. There's a non-streamer tournament where we're taking names for, which is on the in the FM show Discord. This is one that we mentioned on the podcast. But yeah, no, there's not a streamer one. We looked at getting the playoffs back up and running, but I think we've picked the wrong week for it. Unfortunately, no one seems to be available, so I can't see that happening. And yeah, I don't know what the situation is with the streamer showdown, but I'm presuming they're probably in the same boat. There's a one being made with the Dutch creators. It's I think about 120 people. I think they've asked for that. Not all streamers, of course, but again, there's bits and pieces happening, but nothing like sort of Nothing of the level of the Streamer Showdown or the playoffs. And I should say that's obviously like nothing at the level of the Streamer Showdown or the playoffs in the UK. Obviously the Indonesian tournament, much bigger than both of those things put together. Right, Care. Let's bring Care off for Elaterana. Actually, let's put Hilton in then. He might cut inside. Fagerström for Hambo, for Lepisto maybe. I've given the ball away. What's Laxon doing? He's just not even watching. If we concede from this. Oh, almost. Can't see anything happening until the next FM. General appetite for the game is less. I think you're probably right there, Kev. And even then, it's going to depend upon whether it's even in the next game or not. Yeah? Because nobody knows. Let's put Lepisto on. See if he can do anything. Because obviously when they were designing FM25, draft mode wasn't meant to be in the original day one release, so the plan was to release it later down the line. Now whether that means it's going to be an FM26 or not remains to be seen. Right, 0-0, that's definitely better than a defeat, so I'll celebrate that. Celebrate that like a win. Goalless Lepisto's worrying everybody. Well, I mean, look. Yeah, he's had 10 sub appearances. And he's not scored much this year. It is a bit of a concern, but I'm more concerned about the way that the whole team are playing rather than just one backup striker. Drafting tournaments came out of the pandemic and lockdown era. Things have changed since then. Exactly that. Exactly that. Lots of people have either left the creator space or shadow left. Quiet quit. I've seen that today many creators like retro versions of the game. Some do. Yeah. Some like it. Some don't. I think it's just trying different things, isn't it? The game's been out for a while, so some people will just try new stuff to get viewers interested. You know, you can't. The game's been out, what, 15, 16 months? You can't still be managing Liverpool, like, online. Like, if you're a decent creator and you're starting a save with a Premier League team now, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, it's just not a thing. Hope with FM26 they take care of the rest of the licenses. The German national side, Inter. Well, look, yeah, I guess, but there's enough fixes for that. That's all going to come down to money. Again, is for me. Oh, I can't believe we're talking about FM26. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't. We should just be leaving FM26 to do whatever FM26 needs to do of its own. Like, look, whatever happens, as long as it makes the game play better, I don't care about all the other little nonsensey bits like player faces and, you know, extra screens here, there, or, you know, I just, yeah, there's a lot of it that I got a bit bored with all the chat of FM25 and like, oh, I want it to look like this and I don't want it to look like that and I want blah blah blah, and I'm just like, I don't really care enough anymore. Like, I just it'll come out when it comes out, it'll look like it looks, and if it's good, fine. If it's not, fine. Like, you know, and now there's definitely no game at this moment in time. I can't talk about FM26 at all because it's too far away. You know, it's far too far away. So I've got nothing to say at this moment in time because there's not even been confirmation that the next game is FM26. There could be a world where it's FM27. Yeah, they just said the next release of Football Manager. So let's not everyone get our hopes up again. I'm pretty sure it is going to be FM26, but you know, TJ has a Pentagon to win. Exactly. Once I get HIFK to be Finnish champions after about 40 seasons, then I'll be fine. Then we can start the Pentagon. What's happening with that? Are they making a whole new game or using the development of FM25 and carrying on with it? No idea. No idea. Nobody knows. Genuinely, nobody knows. So it could be possibly. Yeah, I've got no other answer for that, I'm afraid. Logic would suggest they work with what they've got and they try and fix it, but it depends upon whether it was that unplayable or not. Who knows? Who knows? Great. Fantastic goal to concede there. To bottom of the table honker. Again, let's just wait. Let's just wait. People got themselves too excited. They obviously got themselves disappointed. If you keep your expectations low, then you can't be disappointed, right? We're sat quite deep. Let's push ourselves up a bit. This mid block's not doing us any favours. Maybe we play the ball short and draw them out. I know we're meant to be going like direct, but Mohamed Hilascopi, Saarinen gives it away. Drawing with the bottom of the league. It's been one of those seasons. Hovey gets the tackle in. Oh, I thought he'd leathered that in the top of the net, in the roof of the net there. Hovey flicks it on. Fagerström chasing down. Oh no, Madianga's just touched it in for him. Oh dear. It's definitely a thing. Kabashi, look at that. Madianga gets in, then the players get in each other's way. Oh. I definitely think it's a thing. What do we think about the Alvarez case? Oh. I don't know. I'll leave you all to debate that one amongst yourselves. I think I have to bring Hovey off. 6-3 is just not good enough, I'm afraid. This is going to be 3-1. This is going to finish 3-1, I can tell. Obviously, I'm trying to go attacking. Called it. Absolutely called it. And here comes number 4. Should have been number 4. I mean, what on earth are we doing? I think after a heavy recruitment drive at the end of the season, a tactical rethink might be in order. And might not necessarily be a move from the 4-4-2. It might just be, you know, a couple of new roles maybe. Comes to when you prefer to play teams at the top compared to teams at the bottom. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I just think we just need to freshen things up a little bit. This lack of quality is just costing us. And, you know, we've done as well as we can do with the incredibly limited resources we've got. And maybe I need to remember that. Maybe I need to accept that last season we overachieved. And for those who were saying, you know, that third was our glass ceiling. And I was like, no, it wasn't. Maybe it is. It's not, because eventually the game will let you overcome your glass ceiling, but it's yeah, it's proving a tricky run in at this moment in time. Youth intake was also awful. Of course it was. Of course it was, Mean Wolf. Of course it was. Hold a team meeting. Yes, good idea. Everyone, you're all being shit. Sort yourselves out. Even Ludo, how are you, buddy? Welcome. How are we? That is a good question. And one I don't really have an answer to be honest. Personally, I'm fine. In game, less so. We've just had a bit of a downturn of fortunes, and yeah, we're running towards the end of the season, and I'm aware that I'm running towards the end of the season. So there's little bits and pieces I could be doing to maybe change thinking and, like, you know, sit and go through data and break down tactics and look at what we're doing and not doing. But there's also that thing of I'm like, let's just get to the end of the season and see what happens. Yeah. Finland is good for ice hockey. Well, there is that. We could look at that then. That might help us a little bit. The thing with this type of team is the turnover of players is so big, it's perfectly plausible. Next season, the group of players you end up with might do something. Problem is, they might also not. That's the risk. That is absolutely the risk. It's like, it sounds too cliche, doesn't it, to go, it's either going to be fine or it isn't. And that is exactly what it is. Because you're right, we could put 11 new players in here and it could be perfect. This is what I'm saying. The game eventually just allows you to do well. Or it can look at you and go, yeah, it's still not working, lads. And the joy of this type of save is it doesn't matter. If it doesn't work, we continue the story somewhere else. In another team. Like, you know, it's not like we've got a challenge where we have to stay at certain teams or win certain things. This is no rules. You know, we just go with the flow. And that should theoretically make it a bit easier to sort of work between those teams. Because you're not having to sort of like plan it and be like, right, we need to get to a specific style of team to do the next bit. This is just a case of like, right, if we get sacked, okay, cool, we go to whatever team will take us next. And we stay for as long as we're welcome. Ludo FM is unpredictable like that. I had a season where I finished 5th in Serie A. Next season, 95% of the players couldn't buy a win and got relegated and sacked. Yeah. Happens, doesn't it? Absolutely happens on the game. It's crazy. It has freedom to it. It's just in the moment of losing ground and momentum, it doesn't mean it's easy to watch. There is that, Kev. I think the fact the drop off came from nowhere as well, or certainly nowhere that I can pinpoint. It must have obviously come from somewhere, but I couldn't pinpoint the exact reason as to why it stopped, as to why things stopped working. But again, I guess you can look back through you know, many seasons worth of football, and you could have teams that have done exactly the same thing. Just got to a point in the season where they've just stopped. It just doesn't work anymore. Whatever it is you're trying, just it's not there. Are you believing in FM being momentum and morale manager in essence? A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I think there's definitely something to that, because that's part of the game that I don't really pay as much attention to. Well, we mentioned before about, you know, resting players. We've mentioned before about praising players. Those little sort of micro management things of like running in and telling people that they've trained well that week. You know, all those things, they do sort of help in the game. Whether or not they give enough of a difference, I don't know, but it certainly from the outside appears to give you a slight leg up. But again, whether that's like a placebo effect, I don't know. Hovey Laxonen, oh, cracking effort. It's not gone in though, and now we're under pressure. Oh, good save. Kabashi gets it away. So, I mean, here we are, 0-0. Against second bottom, possibly? I say 0-0. It's a well-worked goal, if anything. Yeah, They catch us completely off guard. Oh yeah, they're bottom now. Great. And here's two. Fuck. Wow. Okay. It's gonna be like this, is it? It's the easy way, the hard way, and the TJ way, all over again. I thought we'd stop this. I thought we decided against this. The water bottle's going. Everyone's... Oh, we've gone. We've gone. I think I've lost it. Change of style fails to inspire. Yeah, it will do. I mean, what do I do now? Don't hardly think morning's going to help. Yeah. Right, yeah, I'm just gonna say everyone's an arse. Right, just nah. I'm not standing for it. They've all been shit. They've all been rubbish. Right, go off and do the team bonding thing without me. I suggest putting in a friend against a minor team to get a win, but this bunch of players would lose that too. Yeah, I think you're right, Kev. I think you're right. I also don't think we've got enough time to do a friendly either. But what? 17th, 20th, 27th. I guess we've got something to do there. But it's another 2 matches. Oh, thankfully we're playing top of the league now. So we've played the bottom 2 sides. We might get dragged into a relegation battle here, you know. There's only 6 points now between us and Honka. I might have to look at the job board. I don't know, because there might be jobs coming up in a minute, and one of them might be mine. Yeah, I'm not as okay. I'm not as confident as I was. You'll get a draw against the top team. Yeah, oh yeah, or we'll win 4-0. Something like that. It'll be one of those things. It'll just work. Yeah. Right, Kevin Mahasia wants to leave still. I mean, again, there's that thing if we do possibly just release him. I don't know. Maybe I set us back in a counter-attacking situation. I don't know. Try and just hit on the brake, possibly. Let's go direct counter-attack, actually. Okay, keep that as sort of as they're probably meant to be. See if that makes any difference. As we say, this is one of those ones where we're either gonna go absolutely flying, or it's gonna be horrific.
Just say a prayer for my city.
The fact that all the players are terrified doesn't bode well, does it? It certainly doesn't help. I mean, yeah. I've clearly not read How to Win Friends and Influence People, have I? Well, Tony, how would you describe your management style? Oh, shouty mainly. Shouty and pointy. There's an irony somewhat that I've classified myself as a motivator, as my managerial personality as well, isn't it? I think the fact that knobhead wasn't an option is probably the reason why. I certainly couldn't put tactical supremo. I suppose there is, looking at the team now, we could be in a situation where if Rahimi goes, could we recruit a centre-back and maybe get a 5-3-2 working? You know, 3 centre-backs, similar to what they're playing here, but without the wide players. Oh, no. Oh, man. You've just got to laugh, haven't you? So it turns out turning the computer off didn't seem to make a difference. Which I suppose is no real surprise to any of us, is it? But it is top of the league, and it's only 1-0. Oh dear, oh dear. And now we've got to finish the match with 10 men. Just as we're starting to come into the match as well. Hi Callum. Hello mate. Welcome, Raiders. Hope you're well. Callum, how was your stream, my friend? I hope it was pleasant. I hope it was fantastic. How was Slough treating you? Welcome everyone to welcome to HIFK in the 2nd division of Finland. This is a Journeyman save. Okay, we started unemployed, no badges, no experience, no qualifications. I think it shows. To be honest, we just took the first job that was offered to us. We're here, 2nd division. The team were amateur when we started, and then we signed. Well, then we finished the first season, and we were then made professional, which we're very, very happy about. But at that point, we found out that the club had a 16-month transfer ban. Because in real life, they've been declared bankrupt and therefore are now in the 5th tier of Finland. So we then had to deal with 16 months of no players. No new players, I should say, sorry. Last season, we weirdly finished 3rd. Okay? Fantastic. Those same players this season, those very same players are currently 6th. 5 points away from relegation. 11 points away from 3rd. We have had, honestly, like just, I don't know what's happened. Look at this for a fall off. Like, start of the season, brilliant. Bang, 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 bang. Everyone's having a brilliant time. Wonderful results. And then all of a sudden, it just stops. It's the typical FM way of everything just stops working all at once. And yeah, that's where we are. So we're now, in a weird way, we're now just hoping to get to the end of the season so we can see what happens, see how we can sort of like try and go again. Because yeah, it's the question is, yeah, what do we do next? Where do we go next? Can we go anywhere else, or are we stuck? Because you've also got that problem of, well, where do we go? You know, we're a half-star manager at a 1.5-star club that is this season not necessarily underperforming, probably performing the level that it's expected to be at, which I guess in a sense is not a great level, you know. Don't you worry at all, Callum. You get yourself away, my friend. Appreciate the raid. Thank you so much for bringing everyone in, and I hope Slough is fantastic, and I'll definitely catch you up at some point during the week. Finland won't finish you. Oh no, it won't. It's trying. It is trying, but I'm hanging in for now, I think. Oh God, I'm hanging in for now. I've got half an hour. Let's just see where we can go. This is now a new record, 7 games without a win, and there's going to be no takeover apparently. Okay, fine. I see it. I see what's happening here. But yes, as I say, welcome Raiders. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you are brand new and you're up for witnessing a middle-aged man get upset at the apparent lack of ability of a collection of pixels in the 2nd Division of Finland, then please feel free to hit that follow button. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sundays we normally do something different. We don't have something different Sunday stream. We play City Skylines, which we have done previously. We're going to be doing some Minecraft with the United City as well. I think Callum has said he's going to do Overcooked with me, I believe, so that's going to be good. Enjoy doing that. So obviously you can come with that. We've got Discords as well, and of course the FM show podcast with myself, RDF Tactics, and Simagio. So loads of things to get involved with if you don't already do so. Right, let's just try and convince these players that, you know what, not losing would be a great idea. Can we do that against Car Park, as we also call them? I'm sure we're not meant to call them that. Here's Hilton and whips the cross in. Handball. Get in. Right, it turns out we can score goals. That's good. We need that. Hilton with the cross. Handball's header. That gives us something. Here's the turnaround. Oh, this is going to be like Leicester at this point, Musterman. We're going to win the title next season. All I need is a bunch of medical staff from a football club who were previously investigated for allegations of blood doping, and then just very much, turn a blind eye to it. It'll all just be coincidental that team then becomes really, really fit. Yeah, that's what I need in HIFK. So maybe I need to get some Italian medical professionals in. I wonder. It's very much Kev ball, a deep cross to the head of the attacker, and I'm here for it. It's glorious, isn't it? It's glorious. Just like that. Oh. Rahimi taps in. That's another one. Tuny, what have I missed? Oh, mate. Missed about 14 defeats, I think is what you've missed. Hilton with a header off the underside of the bar. Rahimi's there to tap it in. That's what we like. 2-0. Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. We've just fallen off a cliff somehow, and I've got no idea how. There doesn't seem to have been any rhyme or reason to it. But this match is so far looking better, but it's obviously not finished. See? Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, we're not even that high up yet. They still managed to get the ball behind us. Laxonen's not watching, is he? He needs to be a bit more thinking. Whereas he's a wing back, is he? Class is a wide midfielder. I mean, has Maheja been a loss? Probably. I mean, he's a full-back there, so he shouldn't be out of position too much. Centre-back Sarinen's knackered. We haven't really got a centre-back to replace him with, though. That's the problem. Fagerström with the free kick. Oh, pick that one out. You're right, Musterman. Title is incoming next season now. There we go. Carpar, we're shouting to them, can we play you every week? 11 points to make up. Can we? We can't. Back post, Rahimi just lets it drop. Laxonen. Oh, I thought it was a great cross in. Launched Kabashi with the header. Laxonen. Down the line, Fagerström. Back to Kabashi. He wants to leave in the end of the season as well. As does Madianga. Hambo's staying. Sarnen want to stay in. Hilton and Bloomer. Good ball through. Oh! Offside? I mean, that was glorious to watch, wasn't it? Little bit of inverted wing back action from Vigo Bloomer there. Don't mind if I do. Let's put Mido on. Let's bring Rahimi off for a little bit. See what Kaya can do. Fagerström for Lepisto. We thought maybe Finland isn't the place to showcase your talents. I mean, the problem is, Tuny, is that I'm really struggling to find a country that is the right place to showcase my talents. So I'm thinking it's maybe me and the game and my lack of ability. That's what I think it is. So I'm not sure that Finland can take all the blame. I don't really know where I'd fit in and where I'd look good. Because it took me 15 years to look decent in Greece. We're only in season 4. Well, season 3 actually, with HIFK. So we've still got a long way to go before we get into the top division. 3-1 win though. I'll take that. That's what we like. Is their goalkeeper Johannes Vitalia? Be able to find out. It is indeed. Vitalita. Is this one of your old players? Is it, Musterman? Ilvesh. So maybe we just need to start looking at recruitment, because we haven't been able to do that. I wonder what next season will look like if we can add some players. You know, maybe last season we overachieved. Clearly we overachieved. This season is probably more realistic. What's the chance of getting fired? You're all doom and gloom merchants, aren't you? C plus, stable at this point. We're nowhere to be seen at this point of the getting sacked narrative. Yeah. And if we do get sacked, I'd love to see them find someone who would be willing to work under the conditions that we've had. They wouldn't even be working under the conditions that we've had. They'd be under better conditions straight away. So, you know, whoever comes in has instantly got an advantage. He was surprisingly shit. Alright, fair enough. Maybe we won't look at him then, Musterman. Mourinho to HIFK. Oh yeah. Like what we know about Jose Mourinho is he loves working for no money at all. And maybe this is what the club needs to remember about me as well. I'm literally doing them a favour because I'm not getting paid. Yeah. I'm not getting paid at all. I'm doing this for free. So any of these clubs here, if they offered me a tenner, it's more than Finland. It's more than Finland. They probably won't offer me that because, you know, well, because they know, don't they? But it'd be interesting. Madianga out for a couple of days again. Oh, Noah Kemmer's out for 7 months as well. Oof. The relegation scrap is here. Oh God. And I'm part of it, aren't I? I don't like the fact that we're part of a relegation battle. But then again, maybe I do. That sort of works a little bit better for us, doesn't it? Mrs. J doing 3 jobs to pay for McDonald's. Yeah. I've had to start on OnlyFans. It's not going well. OnlyFins. Yeah, Tony Fins. It's a force of habit continually looking on the jobs board, but I don't feel like we need to go anywhere. Minor Pernick? Where's Minor Pernick? What's the situation here? Minio Pernick. Are they a nice club? Nicknamed the Hammers. They're from a mining town. Excellent. Oh, that would be the whole Hammers thing, I'm guessing. However, due to big financial problems, the owners of the club decided to abolish the club and restart. Excellent. Good. Phoenix Club. There's genuinely like no clubs in Eastern Europe that have stayed as clubs, is there? Minio's fans are known as the Hammers or the Yellow Blacks. They have the legendary hatred for Levski Sofia, and the fans of both teams have had some big fights over the years, some of which have even involved rifles. Excellent. Minio fans are also infamous for their general hatred for Sofia. Their only friends are considered to be Botev Plovdiv. The rivals of Minio call them the Orcs due to their mining heritage. Yeah, they sound fun, don't they? They have a nice bank balance. They do. They're not necessarily to spend on players, though. I subscribe to Tony Finn's, which I assume is just you cosplaying as different fish. It is. It absolutely is. Or different people called Finn. Mainly Finn from Hollyoaks. Or Finley Quay. The sort of 1990s, early 2000s. Reggae? Would you say reggae? Say Sunshine Singer, I think. Just outside the relegation zone. Second division of Bulgaria. That feels good for us, but let's see what we can do at HIFK. There must be. I think we owe it to ourselves to have 1 year where we actually use our players. So we go and we recruit, and if it doesn't work next season, then we start looking to move on. Because it's easy to say now, in hindsight. It's easy for us to say this season was an absolute write-off. But at the start of the season, I genuinely have had high hopes that we were going to continue to overachieve. Yes, Jebaru, how are you, my friend? 49 months. Look at 49 months. Look at this. Incredible. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much for the continued support. Yes, the wheels have fallen off. Yeah, 100%. They've fallen off and we've kicked them down the street. And now I think they're in the sewer system. And we do need them. We do need those wheels to get back home. In a sense, though, 1 win sees us back up to 4th. So it's not all doom and gloom, but it's very much gloom. Yeah. It's not been happy. It's not been fun. The second half of the season's been really quite poor. And we've just won our last match, which means, we've got a false sense of hope now. And obviously it won't work in this match. We'll lose this match probably again. Macam Dad in with a follow. Appreciate it, pal. Clearly one of our own. Definitely found the right channel there. Boubacar back inside. Rahimi over the top. Fagerström brings it down nicely. Oh, great finish. Keep that whistle down. Yes. Beautiful finish. That's more like it. Rahimi dinks it over the top. Fagerström, one touch. Keeper dives out the way completely. I've got this. Back up to 5th now. What's the problem? Well, here's the problem when we concede from this corner. Like, I'm not saying that the game's predictable, but when you can just tell what is going to happen and what's not, that is a little bit too much, isn't it? You can't just be sitting there going, this is a goal. Like, surely there should be a little bit more, like, there should be less certainty in those sorts of things. Here's Eran. Good cross in. Let's come down for Mohamed. Oh, and Hambo's nodded it over the top. Shocking. Cross in. Fagerström. There we go. That's what we need. Little bit more. If we continue to leave so few people back during counter attacks. Alright. Okay. That's off the crossbar. There's Kaya injured. Lovely. That's what we don't want to see. One's a little bit too nervy in it. We don't want it dropping out at this point. Keep it tight, everyone. We're up to 5th. JJK obviously play later. Yeah, I think the best we can do is 4th. And if we finish 4th, then you know what? I'm not going to be upset about that. I think 4th's fine. 10 defeats this season is not fine though. Honka look like they're going to stay up possibly. Alton launches it. It's like 92 minutes, 6 minutes, time added on. Nice intercepted. Here's Arda. Loses it. Ooh, good save. Well and Conan. Be disciplined on this one. Keeper's up. Oh, the keeper scored an equaliser. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know what to say. There's nothing, isn't there? It's very much a case of we go again next season. I'm gonna put him on the 33. Handling 9. What's his heading? Oh. There's just nothing, isn't there? There's literally nothing. Nothing to say at this point, other than, well, yeah. There's just nothing to say. It's you know what? There's 3 games left. There's 6 days between these matches. We could do a friendly. I think the best thing we need to do is we need to just do this next week because I just feel like we're just on a losing streak, aren't we? The streak is going to be continuing for as long as it can be. So I think we need to jump out and start again, like next week. And that's probably for the best. That's probably for the best, because otherwise we're just going to be sad. I'm going to be sad. It's the weekend, you know, and that's, yeah, you can't be sad when the weekend comes around. So let's regroup. We might come back tomorrow and play something different. We might do City Skylines tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I think what we'll do now is we'll just we'll go and get a raid on, shall we? We'll go and raid out and then see what someone else is up to. So make sure you go and give them some love. Who have we got? Who have we not seen before? There's not a lot of people in there at the minute who are streaming the game in English, that's for certain. That's one of the things we could definitely do with. There was someone who had a save on there, but I think they've turned their camera off, so that's... oh no, wait, no, they're back on now. Camera's on. Right, cool, let's go and do this one then. So it's Colchester, 2nd season. They seem like they're brand new, or newish. They've not got a lot of followers, so go and give them a follow. Make sure you do that. Go and show them some love. Yeah, take care, everyone. Let's build a city tomorrow. That might be more fun. Right, take care. Bye now.